Back in June, the Washington Wizards traded guard Bradley Beal to the Phoenix Suns in a 3-team trade that also included the Indiana Pacers. Bradley Beal had a no trade clause, one of the only players or few players in the NBA to have one in recent history. And the Miami Heat were rumored to be frontrunners in the Bradley Beal sweepstakes before he ultimately landed with the Suns. And there's a recent report that came out that indicates that the reason, besides the fact that the Miami Heat were interested in going after Damian Lillard, that the Heat were also turned off by the idea of inheriting Bradley Beal's no-trade clause. So even though the Heat holds Bradley Beal in high regard, we hear one major reason the Heat didn't pursue Beal a trade earlier this offseason was because it philosophically doesn't like the idea of inheriting a no-trade clause. And that was according to Barry Jackson. So Bradley Beal is a hell of a player. He was selected 3rd overall in 2012 after playing 1 year at the University of Florida. And the 6'4" guard, he's played 11 seasons in the NBA, all as a member of the Washington Wizards. He, in the past, was adamant about staying with the Wizards, and the Heat were rumored to have shown interest in trading for Bradley Beal over the past 3 or 4 seasons. And so last year, Beal averaged 23 points, 4 rebounds, 5.4 assists per game, but he only played 50 games. And Beal has been really productive, not as productive as he was 2 years ago, but he's been really injury prone in the past 4 seasons. So last year he played 50 games. In 2021 he only played 40. 2020 he only played 60. In 2019 he only played 57. And so in 2019 and 2020 he averaged 30 and 31. And then the last 2 seasons that dropped significantly to 23 points per game. So don't get me wrong, Bradley Beal still is a good, experienced all-star shooting guard, but injuries have sort of brought him back down to earth in terms of his ability to score. So the last time Beal also reached the second round of the playoffs with the Wizards was back in 2017, so he doesn't have a lot of playoff experience naturally by being a Wizard his whole career. So it does suck that we weren't able to get someone that was linked and wanted to play for the Miami Heat for the past 4 seasons. And so I guess it is understandable that the Heat were hesitant, not only because of the Dame Lillard sweepstakes, but the no trade clause, and for other factors. In my opinion, he's turning 30 years old. He's still owed $200 million plus over 4 years. And so the Miami Heat didn't want to go into the second apron and weren't exactly sure that he would put the Miami Heat over the hump to finally win a championship with this Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo build. So I guess it makes more sense. Didn't realize that the no trade clause would be inherited by any team. So that's awesome. If the Suns are horrible and Bradley wants to leave, then I guess he could potentially come to the Heat next year or in 2 years, and that way his contract won't look as bad, making $50 million plus a year, especially because other players are going to be making a lot more every year on out. So let me know what you guys think. I think at this point in retrospect now, I wish we did get Beal because he ultimately had that no trade clause and Miami was number 1 on his list. But I'm saying that now because we missed out on Dane, which is unfortunate. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think Miami was smart for not signing or trading for Beal, especially because of the no trade clause in his contract, and because of his age, and because of his injury history, and because of his contract?